Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's so nice to see you. I don't see you. I see myself if I look over at this monitor over here. I didn't check my sound in advance, which I usually try to do. Oh, little things in life make me so happy. It's so nice to be back on YouTube with you, the viewing audience here on the Coding Train. I am here with my special invisible cloaking device, semi-cloaking device shirt, my invisible space melon. It's not very good. I went to this store, which shall not be named, and this is quite expensive, these little melon pots that they have. Not a sponsor. Usually it's quite delicious. Maybe it was just sitting out all day. I don't know. Melon keeps me going here on the Coding Train, which is a weird, very weird thing to say. Somehow I said it anyway. I'm not sure what to do about this shirt issue. And Daniel Rodriguez says, greetings from Colombia. And I am going to do something on the Coding Train today, which is a visualization of a number sequence called the Recamán sequence. Maybe somebody can help me with the pronunciation there. It's a sequence invented by, I believe, a Colombian mathematician. So I want to look up the actual information to make sure I say it correctly, but that's my main topic that I prepared for today. Bruno says, we missed you so much. I missed you. I'm back. Interestingly enough, though, I was releasing videos just about every day because I recorded so much before I went away. So I was on a little vacation. I was in the place called Cape Cod, and I was also in the wonderful city of Toronto and a little up north into Ontario in the Muskoka Lakes region, which was quite beautiful and had a lovely time. I like New York City just fine, but that was nice. I will be away again for quite a bit of time in August, so the summer's a little bit, I'm trying to keep up with things and make enough content to so that I don't feel guilty and pause the Patreon. Last summer I paused the Patreon for 3 months with the broken elbow, but this summer I think, I did do 5 live streams in it's July now in June, and I'm hoping I'll get at least 3 in July and 3 in August, and then kind of make up for it later. Welcome new sponsor, Prismic Draganskuk. I'm so sorry, Prismic. I'm sure I completely, and of course the camera goes right off. I have so many plans to upgrade my equipment and do better. And did I just post something here? No. Sorry, I'm going to the Slack channel, the friendliest. Yeah, so I don't know what to do about this shirt thing. So this, I don't want to, also not as, but the Coding Train, as you know, is brought to you by water. Clear, usually. Thirst quenching. Delicious. And I do actually sometimes have some other sponsors, and there are often YouTube ads. But I don't know what I was going to talk about my shirt, but it's I got this shirt from one of these online stylist things that advertise on a lot of podcasts and stuff, and I really like it. It has a little flamingo here. It's I never buy new clothes, but the thing, but I didn't. And I thought I'm going to wear this on Friday. I'm going to be back at the Coding Train. It's my nice new shirt. I really didn't think it's blue. Shouldn't be a problem. This is green back here. See, look. That's green. Oh, wait, this is actually not. This is me actually removing the background and putting green there. So this isn't actually the wall. I had a view. There's a way that I can show you the actual wall, which I really shouldn't do right now because I should be doing coding. But, does anybody really, you should know by now that it's not going to be any coding for at least another 30 minutes. Green, settings. No. Where do I go for this? Filters. If I just temporarily turn the filter off, I could actually play with it here. Maybe I could get my shirt to be less transparent. So how do I just want to disable the chroma key. There we go. Okay, so I disabled the chroma key. This is what, look, I feel like this is a very different color. I'm wearing a blue shirt. This is a green wall. And yet somehow there's just a little bit too much there. Disable the filter. Okay. So let me put the filter back on. So here's the thing. Normally, I would have just gone and been like, okay, well, I'm the kind of person, I don't know what kind of person you are, but I'm the kind of person who wears a t-shirt under the shirt. I mean, sometimes I just wear a t-shirt. I wear a t-shirt under the t-shirt. Maybe I've done that before. I've worn a t-shirt over a long sleeve t-shirt. Anyway, I'm the kind of person who wears a t-shirt under the shirt. So no problem. Excuse me for the microphone here that I'm just going to have to move. Don't worry, I'm not disrobing. So I have this other shirt on, but I can't wear this other shirt for a number of reasons. Number one is I didn't even pay attention to what shirt I was grabbing. Number one is this is a shirt is like kind of a copyright violation, so I'm not going to show you the whole shirt. It also has a green stripe in it. So that is really, let me put up like a web browser. I'm sure this is really fascinating. All of you are really, this is what you tuned in for, I'm sure. But you can see here, look, that has a little like stripe there. So that option is out. Hold on, let me button this back up. Try to put this back on somewhere here. So, I don't know. I'm fine with being somewhat translucent, but then I think, okay, when I release the video and I release the edited videos and the coding challenges, every single comment is going to be you're translucent, you're translucent, you're translucent. I can see three. I mean, I did one coding challenge wearing, if I can find it, I had these like rainbow headband and sweatbands. I don't know where the headband is. Oh, there's the headband. I have this rainbow headband. Yeah. Yes, I have this rainbow headband, and if I put that on, you can see that like it separates the top of my head. So I need somebody needs to get me. I would really love to have like some. I don't know why I like headbands. I never said that sentence before in my entire life before right now, but it came out of my mouth. I think it might be true, but I need one that doesn't have green in it. All right. I have my ukulele still, but it's been sitting here. I haven't played it for a month. Alka in the chat is saying, just go over to makeup and wardrobe and get a new outfit. Wouldn't that be nice? I do actually have a couple hoodies here. Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, no, that's a plastic bag. So I have this unicorn hoodie, which I believe is just from, hold on. I don't know where, I forgot where I got this. My wife bought it for me, I think, but I forgot. It was just from like some Target. It's from Target, I think. Not a sponsor. Target. Coding Train is brought to you by H2O. Is it 2H and 1 O, or is it 2 O and 1 H? And if it was, I'm pretty sure it's 2H and 1 O, but if you get that wrong. Thank you. Okay, now, and then I have this Coding Train hoodie. Actually, probably downstairs I have also my ITP camp one. Anyway, I don't know what to do. Anybody have any suggestions? Unicorn hoodie, go. You're missing an if statement. We want to get a shirt with a big green circle. People are, I really like this unicorn hoodie, but then I feel like if I wear the unicorn hoodie, then, I don't know, then all people do is talk about the unicorn hoodie. And really, as is quite evident and obvious, this is a live stream about coding. It is educational, it is to be taken very seriously, and you will learn something. Is there green in it? All right, so now it's also like this is way too hot. It's like summer. Oh, I can tune the filter. All right. Sorry, I'm like probably making horrible sounds. No matter what like nonsense I do here, somebody always asks in the chat, how come you don't use C# in Unity? Well, I'll tell you why. I don't know how. If I knew how, I would use it. All right, so there's the unicorn hoodie. Oh, I need to do some stretching. Let's see if I could just briefly tune the filter, because I would like to wear my new shirt. My new shirt from my personal stylist, who knows me really well on the internet. Sends me clothes once a month in a box. I keep them. If I keep all of them, I get a discount. All right. All right, so help walk me through this, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to green Canon filters. All right. I'm now going to chroma key, and now I see key color type green. Similarity between 1 and 1000. Smoothness, and these are settings in Open Broadcast Studio where I use smoothness between 1 and 1000. So similarity is set to 400, smoothness is set at 80, key color spill reduction is set to 100. How anyone could possibly sponsor this content right now is beyond me, but thank you, John Petrilli. By the way, what's wonderful about, you should wait a little longer. Let me see if my kids got home yet, because the lights, anybody who's thinking about sponsoring, the lights in my apartment, I just moved to a new apartment, I got all these Philips Hue lights, they blink whenever somebody sponsors. I couldn't get that set up here at NYU because of all the security. Yes, I think they are, let's see. Not yet. They are a couple blocks away. So if anybody's thinking of sponsoring right now, just wait like 15 minutes. Because it'll be fun for them. They'll see all the lights, blinky blink. I was talking about something important. Yes, okay. So now, opacity 100, contrast 0. Just wiggle the sliders, it'll be great. Okay, this is definitely going to work. I'm going to wiggle the sliders, you're going to tell me when it looks good. It's never going to work because you're at a different time than me. But I'm just gonna mess around for a second. Let's just remember 480, 100, 100. 480. No, all I have to remember is 480, 100. Ooh, blue. Ah! This is what happens when I make it blue. Can you see? Okay, what is this? Did this actually update your view? I'm waiting to see if the chat. Okay, so the chat. So this is definitely updating it. Magenta. Okay, that's good. Custom. Oh, custom. So how do I take a little change? So the one thing I could do is it's at green, and I can like mess around with this. So like, I am no longer translucent, but there's more of a shadow behind me. So splitting the difference here, that's a little bit better. Yeah, that works. The similarity, smoothness. Smoothness. I could also key spill color reduction. Whoa! I like that. Okay, hold on. Whoa. What was that at? 40? Oh my God. Did I make it better? Close. I don't think I'm translucent anymore. I have a weird shadow behind me though, because of my poor lighting. I don't know. Did I make it better? Did I make it worse? I should talk to you. You're the person watching. To get the dark, you can always add more key effects to get the darker areas specifically. All right, but if I stay up pretty close here, actually I think it looks pretty good. All right, now here's the real question. I usually like to key out this laptop so that it doesn't block the view. That looks pretty good. There's something here. Oh, this is my melon. I'm a little afraid of eating this melon now. It's just very like soft. You know what? I think the melon shtick is done for today. Just put this to the side. I don't know where, just put it somewhere out of the way. for here, maybe. All right. Hello, welcome. It's the coding train on Friday. I am going to do some coding. My name is Daniel Schiefman, and I am in the habit, at least hopefully once a week, although in the summer I'm missing some time here and there, of coming on this platform called YouTube and live streaming with some equipment and typing on my computer and doing tutorials or trying to code various things. I and I'm just sort of curious here. I'm going to go to Twitter/Schiffman for a second. And, oh, what am I logged in as? Oh, let me vote. I'll just vote for this. All right, so these are, okay, so there are a bunch of things that I'm thinking about doing. And I need to look up over here. I kind of believe that I might have also written out some other ideas in View on Watch page. In the description. Oh, what am I logged in as? Possible topics. Workflow. Workflow is the only thing really missing from here. Recommend sequence, MobileNet, convolutional layers, workflow. Okay, so one other thing here. So here's the thing. Let me get myself a little organized here. So one thing that I would like to do, the thing that I'm going to start with probably is the Recamán sequence, and if anyone could help me with some pronunciation there, be appreciated. There's quite a bit of noise over here. I don't know about that. Because I like to try to as often as possible have standalone coding challenge videos that produce some mildly interesting visual result that people can remix. Those are certainly the most viewed videos on the channel. It's quite remarkable how many more views they get relative to the things that are like my 12-part tutorial series on building a classifier with TensorFlow.js. But I'm not so sure if views is the metric that I should be using to measure the value or worth of a video. So maybe some of these longer tutorial sequences in the long term are better for the world than a video that gets a lot of views because it's 10 minutes long and makes a pretty picture. I don't know. So, but I do, to keep the channel going, it is helpful to do those coding challenges. They tend to get a bit more traction. So that's what I'm going to work on today. This is the second time now also that I will be taking inspiration from the number file. I did a sand pile coding challenge based on a number file video. This will be based on a recent number file video on this number sequence. Okay. Now, so that's number one. Number two is I kind of feel like I might as well do a flocking coding challenge at some point. Like, it's a thing that I know and it produces interesting results, and I think I could build it in one video. I should do that. So that's there on the list. It's been on the list for a while. In terms of my machine learning long-term project to try to step through, and by the time I get anywhere, I'm sure everything I'll have done will be out of date, but nonetheless, if I go to the channel page and scroll down a bit and go here to, by the way, somebody in the chat earlier was asking, do you have any beginner tutorials? This is where I would start if you're a total beginner to programming. Actually, in the fall, I'm going to be remaking a bunch of these videos because the stuff has come out of date. So in the fall, coming soon, some sessions for total beginners. This is my machine learning set of playlists. And the last thing I did was TensorFlow.js classification. So I built a classification model with TensorFlow.js. The next thing that I want to do is build an image classifier with TensorFlow.js using the Google Quick Draw dataset. So I'm going to not write a convolutional neural network from scratch. I'm going to build one using TensorFlow.js, but I wanted to make a couple videos about how the elements of a convolutional layer work, and I might just use processing for that to show the different image processing pieces. It's bothering me. This noise over here is bothering me so much. I have an idea. This light is pointed in a weird direction. Will that help? Mildly better. Oh wait, no, yes, mildly better. Okay. Yeah, someone is asking in the chat, John is asking, can you redo your processing tutorials? Yeah, those are really old, and the quality of them, in terms of the production quality, not that my production quality is that great right now, as clearly evidenced by me trying to tune the green screen live, but those really could use a refresh. I'm not so sure what to do about that. I'll have to think about that. I would like to do that. It's just sort of limited time here and things that I can do. They do the reason why I'm less has changed, I mean, in terms of the syntax. So they do still apply. The IDE looks totally different, and the videos, I have much less gray hair in them, but all right. So that's the other thing here. ML5, the project is coming. I want to do a whole tutorial series about different aspects of this ML5 machine learning library, which is a beginner-friendly library built on top of TensorFlow.js. I'm not really ready for that, but I thought I should at least I could do like a coding challenge where we get image labels from the, we classify images coming in through the webcam according to the MobileNet model. So I might try to do that. And so those are the things I have on the agenda. I also would really like to update my workflow. And look at kind of improved sort of console terminal features. Maybe look at using iTerm. I get a lot of recommendations to take a look at Visual Studio Code and some features that it has that might be useful in terms of running a live server and having a preview pane. So I know those things can also probably be done with Atom. So those are all the things on my list for today. But you know, it's been a half an hour, so I gotta go. No, I'm just kidding. Sammy Haas for Better Melon. I'm pretty sure that also flashes the lights, the super chat. So we'll see. I'm gonna see if I get yeah, oh boy, there's all oh yeah, oh, there's an interesting discussion going on in the Slack channel here for sorry, let me just see. Okay. Austin in the chat is reminding me to mention, which I mean, he's not reminding me to mention, but is mentioning, and I'm reminded to mention, fun function, MPJ, has been doing a set of, let's look at videos here. Yeah. Part one, looks like there's 3 parts out so far. I would definitely recommend these. I believe MPJ mentions that some of the inspiration for this came from some of my early Perceptron videos. And so this is another, and by the way, if you want to, this is a comment I get all the time. Why don't you just do stuff with plain JavaScript? You always use frameworks and libraries. You know, just like I'm the kind of guy who wears a t-shirt under the shirt. You know, added protection. I'm also the kind of guy the kind of person who uses JavaScript libraries. If you want plain JavaScript, this is a wonderful place to be. All right. So I think we should get going and begin with the Recamán sequence. So let's first, there's like that website, that's the number sequence website. It's like the online encyclopedia of integer sequences. This is like the greatest thing ever. You know, from a person who whose favorite book is a book called A Million Random Digits. You gotta love the online encyclopedia. There is a bit of a dark shadow in the top right. Oh yeah, that's not good. All right, I'm sorry. I gotta tweak the settings a little bit. This over here, you can't see it. This over here is gonna be a problem. Filters. I'm going to back out of, tell what's going to make it better. Let's just make this. Hold on. I'm going to put this back. Okay, hold on. I am going to be doing some tweaking here. So I'm translucent again. Okay, you can sponsor now. I mean, if anybody was waiting, they're home to see the lights flashing. All right, so that makes me less translucent, but it's more noise. I wonder if, other thing I could do is, what if I do select color? Oh, look at this. Can I not just click in the window and get a color? What if I make it darker? Ooh, no, that's bad. Let's go for 375. Oh, I'm still translucent in 375. 65. That looks better. So 65, I think, is just enough to like not get my shirt. Okay. Oh, look at that. Ugh. I could crop that out, but then I have less room to move over here. I could crop that out. I'm really wasting a lot. I'm never on that side very much. That's a good point. Let's see. Green Cannon, unlock, and then, oh no, that's making me smaller. How do you crop instead of shrinking? No. Order, transform. President Mac is asking, how long until I get Slack channel access for subscribers? Shouldn't it be instant? Unfortunately, it is not instant. It's a manual process, and even worse than that, if you subscribe through Patreon, I actually like get your email instantly, but if you subscribe through YouTube, I don't get your email. I just see your username on the list. So if you go to the community tab, there's a sponsors only post. You can see that has a link to a Google form where you can enter in your email, and then I will send you a Slack invite. Sorry, I don't have a better system than that. I don't know if anybody who's in the chat actually has permissions to add somebody right now, but if there's a system you can work out, I'm happy for that to be worked out. Oh yeah, Bruno makes a great suggestion. I could have an extra screen with a live webcam at home. Hey, wait, hold on, I'm trying to crop. Do I have a soft light to direct at that edge of your background? Hold the Mac equivalent of Alt, then I can drag the edges of the source. Okay. The Mac equivalent of Alt. Is that? Oh, that's Option, I think. There we go. Crop. Look at this. Ah! 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 Let's go to there. So I don't know. I'm really getting into too much monkey business today, but this is good. Better. Better. This needs to go down a little bit. Okay. Do I have a soft light? I also do. I don't know about soft. Oh. I have a clip light with no bulb. I have. Oh, you know, I do actually, maybe. I have these like light things, which I think I should wear. Oh, this would probably be like some sort of good exercise to balance. I think I can do this? Not at all. But I do have, let's see. I have this, which is like this like LED, like very not so powerful LED light thing. Anyway, I think I should give up on trying to make this better right now and actually make some content. What is this? There's so much weird stuff in here. Oh, this is like a bulb that's burnt out, I guess. By the way, anybody recognize this? In the olden days of this channel, I had a button that I would press to change cameras. Now I have something called a keyboard with numbers on it. Okay. A clip without a bulb is pretty soft. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences. Let's look for Recamán. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So we're here. And then we should reference the number file video and oops, no, block that. and the look at this, 589 people watching live now. And let's see, what is that Recamán mathematician? I forgot the full name. Bernardo. Bernardo Recamán. Whoops, I spelled that wrong. Here we go. Let us not translate this page. Let us put this here. So this, I think, is everything that I need to reference. Then I also need to get a project going. We will not be using any new workflow right now. And let's run a little server. And let's minimize this. Let's say background 0. Let's have a console open. And let's make this a little wider. All right, I think this is going to do, and we don't need the libraries folder anymore. What version of P5 am I using? 0.6.1. Seems like that's probably the most recent. All right, I think I am ready. Okay. All right. Cycle the cameras. All right, let's see. It's only been 35 minutes. Now, the thing is, do I want to have a visual to start with? So one thing that I might do with this here is I might record an introduction to the coding challenge after I finish the coding challenge. So I know for the live viewers that can be a little, but so what am I going to say in the introduction? But I think I want to explain it. So yeah, so all right. I think that's fine. I'll figure this out. So I'm going to go as if I'm not going to, and then I'm probably going to anyway. All right. So yeah, I'm going to though. So I'm just going to say let's begin. But I'll talk about the fact that this is a coding challenge when I do an introduction to it later. All right, and can anyone, all right, before I begin, Tim asks, has he done anything productive yet? Nope, don't worry, nothing productive. I'd be amazed if anything productive happens. But, Electron, it's a good topic. All right, Bernardo Recamán Santos. For an American, how is that in terms of pronunciation? I'm going to just sit here and wait. All right. Luis writes, muy bien. which I probably completely mispronounced. All right, I'm gonna do my best. This goes over here. I'm gonna not look at the chat. I'm not gonna look at the monitor too much. I'm going to just over here now. People are telling me to get coffee. Guess what? I confused myself by this wanting to do the introduction after the fact. I don't know. Okay. All right. So the idea for this coding challenge originates from this wonderful number file video about this thing called the Recamán sequence. Now the Recamán sequence is a numeric sequence, a sequence of numbers. And I am the kind of person who really likes, I keep a book that just has a million random numbers in it around. It soothes me, it soothes me at nighttime when I'm feeling stressed or anxious just to read some random numbers. And so this particular number sequence is a fascinating one. It's invented by a Colombian mathematician named Bernardo Recamán Santos. And you can find out more about it at the, guess what? There's a website, which is actually the online encyclopedia of integer sequences. And I think now possibly for the rest of my life, I'm just going to be at home browsing this website. Because, oh my God, it's a whole website dedicated. I can't believe I didn't really know about this till now. So here's the thing. I'm not going to go too much into the background of this numeric sequence or number sequences. I definitely recommend that you also check out the number file video. I'm really just going to try to code it and visualize it. That's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to do it in JavaScript. And if I'm feeling a little saucy afterwards, I might do a video where we try to make something musical out of the number sequence. So anyway, okay, so how does that, let me first try to get my system to work. Let me first attempt to just describe to you what the number sequence is. Now, first of all, a number sequence is just exactly that, a sequence of numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a integer sequence counting up by 1. There's the Fibonacci sequence, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, right, where you add the two numbers before and get the next. So maybe you want to pause this video right now and invent your own number sequence. This Recamán number sequence is particularly beautiful and interesting as a kind of this strange balance between order and chaos. So, you know, anything that has a nice, this dialectic quality of having both order and chaos is always fascinating to visualize. Well, mostly always, I think. All right, so let's say we have a number line. And I'm really just regurgitating here a bit of the explanation that is in the number file video in my own words, probably not nearly as well. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this can in theory go on to infinity. Oh boy, pause. There's like a giant glare right there. It's actually not so bad. Is that a problem? I think that's actually fine. I moved a light to try to get rid of that. I think I'm gonna leave it. All right. Apologies, there's a little glare there, but I think everything's gonna be fine. All right, now let's say I have a counter. And that counter is gonna start at 1. The idea here, and it's going to go up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, for every number in the counter, I'm going to try to go backwards. But so I'm going to start somewhere. I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to attempt to go backwards. If I can go backwards by this number of spaces and land somewhere that hasn't been landed on before, great. I'm going to go there. If not, I'm going to go forward. This seems weird. And I don't even know if that explanation made sense, but it's going to make sense to you if you keep watching, I think. All right, so 1, I'm going to try to go backwards. Oh, there's no spot. There's no negative numbers in this sequence. So I can't go backwards. I'm going to go forwards. I'm going to go to here. So my sequence is now 0, 1. Now, I'm going to try to go backwards by 2. 1, 2. Oh, nope, I can't. So I need to go forwards by 2. So I'm going to go here, 3. Now I'm going to try to go backwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, that spot is taken. That spot's taken. I can't go there. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 forward. Okay. Now I'm going to try to go back 4. 1, 2, 3. Hey, guess what? Guess what? This spot is open, so I can go backwards 4. Now, in the visualization of it, I'm going to want to draw the moving backwards below it. Now, this is an arbitrary decision. It's sort of the common way to visualize this sequence. It's certainly what's done in the number file video. The point of me showing this to you is to code it, but you might invent your own way of visualizing this. But I can go back 4 now. By the way, I forgot to keep updating this. 0, 1, 3, 6, 2. And then now I'm going to go forward 5. No, I'm going to try to go backwards 5. I can't. There's nothing there, so I go forwards 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I go here. So we can see how this goes. And this is now let's just double check. So on and so forth. So I could keep doing this. It's going to be a bit easier for me to write a computer program to do this than for me to do this manually on the board. First of all, I really, really hope that I didn't botch this. So I'm going to go check the encyclopedia and see if this sequence matches what's there. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I have a good feeling about this. Oh wait, here we are. 0, 1, 3, 6, 2, 7. 0, 1, 3, 6, 2, 7. Whew. Okay, we're good. I think we can write some code now. All right, pause. I'm going to pause for a second here. I'm just looking at the chat to see if anything is, if anybody's saying anything really important. I don't think so. So I'm going to move on in code. Getting a notification. Okay. Okay, I need to turn off the notifications on my watch. All right. All good. Yes, there must be I see that Kay Weekman wrote in the chat, I don't think it has any applications. The joy of pure math should be enough. Now, I don't know what the question was, but I can imagine what the question was. Yeah, this is an idea for an algorithm that produces a sequence of numbers. And I think we can ask this question. Are there any applications of this? Does that sequence have meaning? I mean, you could say the same with the Fibonacci sequence. Why should I care about that sequence? Well, that's a sequence that actually appears quite often in nature, in different patterns found in nature. So I think the interesting question. There's so many different number sequences, and thank you to N.J.A. Sloan for creating the Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences. All right. All right. So let's begin and write some code that's going. Shoot. Let me hit the wrong button. All right, so let's begin and write some actual code now. So here I am in a JavaScript program with the P5.js library loaded. What do I need? So I need to keep track of, if I go back to this, I need to keep track of, the number sequence would be nice to keep track of. I want to keep track of the counter, like what spot am I on? I need to keep track of which spots have been landed on or not. So I am going to. All right, so I have a problem. I don't know why it happens. Oh, you know why it happens? I don't know why it happens. I'm not anywhere near the buttons to play the sound effects. All right, so I'm going to say let numbers. This will be an array that's going to basically have a value in it, something like this, for every spot that's been landed on. That's kind of my idea. So I'm going to have that. Then I'm going to, what else did I say I needed? I needed a counter. That's going to start, the counter's going to start at 1. And I guess this could have true in it to start, because the 0 spot by definition is what's been landed on at the beginning. Let's see, how is that? And then let me just say, what is the sequence? This will be the sequence. So let's use the fact that P5 loops automatically with the draw loop, but let's write a function called step. So, oh, and I need to keep track of where I am. So I guess I'm going to call that index because I think of it as the index into this array. And so actually what I'm going to do is at the beginning, I'm just going to say numbers index equals true because that's where I am. And every time I want to step, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say index minus, or I'm going to say next equals index minus count. This is me attempting to go backwards, right? And then I will say numbers, I will say if numbers next, if it's been landed on or if next is less than 0. If next is less than 0 or if it's already been landed on, then that is no good. Next needs to equal index plus count. And then I can simply say numbers next equals true because that's now a spot that I've landed on. And the sequence, I can add to it the value next. And then I can say index equals next. So let's do this for, and actually let me forget about draw for a second. Let's see if this algorithm works. Let's say for let I equal 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus, step. Let's just do this 10 times and then say console.log. I'm sure I've made a mistake, the sequence. So this is my idea for the algorithm. We try to go backwards. If that is a negative number, it's no good. Or if it's a place that's already been landed on, then I need to go forwards. I need to set the forward spot to be true. I need to add that to the sequence. And now that's my next spot. And so I suppose, in addition to saying numbers index, is 0 technically the first number? That's the question. 0 is the first number, so I also want to say sequence.push index in setup. So let's run this code and see, is this the sequence? No, 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 no. That is definitely wrong. Oh, I can see in the chat someone saying count didn't increment. So I forgot a really crucial step, right? The whole point of this is I go forward once, then I try, then twice, then 3 times, then 4 times trying to go backwards. I didn't increment counter, so I was just going, trying to go backwards once each time. It's never going to work. All right, good mistake to have. So I am now going to say, when do I want to do that? I guess right at the end. I just say count plus plus, right? I just want to, the next time I want 2 steps. That's probably like count, I don't know if is the right variable name for this. Could be like number of steps, but all right, now let's try this again. And let's see, 0, 1, 3, 6, 2, 7, 13, 20, 12, 21, 11. 0, 1, 3, 6, 2, 7, 13, 20, 12, 21, 11. The next one should be 22. Let's just double check this a little bit more and see if I've got 22. All right. Woohoo! I feel somewhat confident that I at least programmed an algorithm to generate that number sequence. Whew. So now we are ready to visualize it. Ooh, okay, this is the fun part, or that's all the fun part for me. I don't know if any of it's the fun part for you. All right, so let's think about this. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out of setup, and I'm going to put the step function in draw. And let's just say console.log index so we can see if this is kind of doing what I expect it to do. Yes. So this is the sequence now. This is the Recamán sequence just going and going and going. You see the numbers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger over time because that count value is always increasing. All right. Whoops. I didn't mean to close that. I don't know what's in that history, although I only use this browser for making these tutorials. But Mathieu, let's edit that part out. All right. Here we are. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take out this console log, refresh. Now, what do I want to do? Now, each time I need to draw, right? What I want to do is draw an ellipse, right? So let's say I'm trying to draw an arc, actually. Let's say I'm trying to draw this one here between 3 and 6. Well, I know that I could use the ellipse function. Let's see, the ellipse function, and I need an x, a y, and a diameter. So the y is going to just be fixed. I'm going to do this, plot this on basically a horizontal number line. The x is going to be the 4.5, the start plus the end divided by 2, right? The center and the diameter of this circle. Again, this is just a way to visualize it. Maybe you want to do it a totally different way. The r will be an ellipse with diameter of 6 minus 3, the next minus the start. So if we think about this, what's important here, if I'm going to do the drawing right here, the diameter is next minus index. The x value is, the x value is, what did I say? Next plus index divided by 2. This is assuming there's one pixel per number. And then I could draw an ellipse. I'm just going to draw a full ellipse now at x. The y, I'm just going to set the y at 0 and with this diameter. What key command did I, time out for a second. What key command did I hit that's like got this weird thing at the bottom now? I have something in the view. Panes. I don't know, close pane. What is? Yeah, what? Has that always been there? I just only noticed it now? Or is that? Oh, interesting. Simon is giving me a good comment in the chat about different ways to visualize it. Just though, technically though, the number file video, am I correct that the number file video goes above for forward and then below for backwards? Or does it actually just, oh, it alternates each time? I'm wrong about this. All right, but that's fine. I can fix that. That's fine. Oh, so the number file video actually does that. It doesn't, I don't know why I was thinking it goes above. Okay, thank you. That is a very good point. Command plus. No? Oh, it's gone now, right? All right. All right. Command plus period, command plus comma. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think I am back. Tell me if you see me. I'm going to try to get my computer screen back. Hello. And then get the chat back. Let me open up Chrome and say history. Here we go. Whoops. Okay, great. Thank you. I can see it. I'm just going to put the chat over here so I can see it. Close this, close this. Okay, so I assume it froze while I was trying to figure out this command period thing to get that this bottom thing appeared, right? So I'm actually good in terms of continuing the live stream. Like I didn't lose any of the actual coding of the Recamán sequence. All right, hopefully that's correct. Correct, okay. Okay, so I need to keep going here. All right. Not resting, I'm seeing, are people, it's still working, right? People are saying it froze again. Let me look at, let me just look here. Yeah, it says primary stream bad. We are not receiving video data at a fast enough rate. Your viewers may experience buffering. Ensure your connection is fast enough or consider using a lower bit rate. So I am going to I'm going to just keep going because I think it's just a little wonky right now, but it is not crashed. So, all right. Okay. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let me add a stroke of 255, no fill, and let me just see if what happens if these ellipses start appearing. And the other thing that I should probably do is I should just make the Y the middle of the window. Okay, so and actually, you know what I'm going to do? Well, that's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, I'm going to hit refresh, and we can see okay, circles are appearing. So this, I think, this is already somewhat interesting that you can see this pattern that's emerging just from visualizing the Recamán sequence on a number line between 0 and 600. And eventually, we won't see anything anymore because the numbers are getting way too big. But let's try to make this a little bit more interesting. And so I actually misspoke earlier. I had watched the number file video earlier today, and in some reason in my head I was thinking if I'm going forward, I'm going to go along the top. If I'm going backwards, I'm going to go along the bottom. And I think actually what the standard visualization, or the one that's in that video, is just alternating. So I go forward, I go forward, I go, alternating. I go forward above, then if I'm going forward, I go forward below, then if I'm going backwards. So it's always this, it's more of a continuous loop. So let me try to implement that. So one thing, first of all, is what if I just want to draw the top of the circle, the arc above the number line or below the number line? Well, this is actually an easy thing for me to do. I can just change to using the arc function instead of ellipse. I'm going to have to specify both the width and the height. But now, at the end of this, I get to have a start and an end angle. So if I say between 0 and 2 pi, that's between 0 and 360 degrees. That's the entire circle. So this should look exactly the same. But now, if I were to say just go from 0 to pi, we can see here, look, I'm always getting just the bottom. Now, if I were to go from pi down to 0, I'm getting the top. So what I can do is I can say if count modulus 2 equals 0, do it one way, otherwise do it the other way. And there's probably there might be like a more elegant way of doing this, but this should be fine. So I think I want to start, the first one count is 1, and so that should be going, I think I want to do it this way. I want the first one to be over the top. So now we can see, there we go. So this, I believe, should match precisely, the circle starts with down, up. Someone's telling me, okay, so let's try with down, up. Once again, this should be precisely the algorithm, the visualization that you find in that number file video. If I got something wrong, I'm sure I will hear about it in the comments. Please let me know. Now let's see. There's so much more to do with this. How long have I been going so far? Just thinking. Oh, I don't need the index, so I could just use the array length. That's a good point. All right, so this probably should be the end of the video, and I should be now giving you some exercises. But so you should pause right now and try something if you're following along. What if, like right now, I'm only seeing the results here because I'm layering each ellipse over and over again. But what if I want to animate or change the scale? Like what if I want to sort of shrink the space as I'm drawing more and more circles? I'm going to need to store all of these arcs in some sort of data structure. So I'm actually going to do that right now just to add a little bit more to this video, and then I'll give you some other ideas of things you could try to do at the end. So what I want to add to this is I want to create another array. I'm just going to call it arcs. And I'm actually going to create an arc class. I'm going to use a little object-oriented programming. So what makes up a particular arc? Well, it has a start, and it has an end, and it has a direction. So I'm going to say this dot start equals start, this dot end equals end, and this dot direction equals direction. So then all of this drawing thing, right, I could take all of this drawing stuff and put it in a function in the object called show. And the difference would be, this would be saying this dot end minus this dot start. Oh, you know what I should be doing? The end can be, this is a little bit, this kind of worked by accident, but this should really be absolute value, right? Because the end could be before the start, and this would be a negative number. I think P5 doesn't really care. It's like, oh, negative diameter is the same as a positive diameter, but that's probably better for me to put this in here. And then I'm just going to say if direction equals 0, I'll have the direction be 0 or 1. X is also this dot end. Shoot. This dot end plus this dot start divided by 2. And so this should be good now. And so what I want to do here is create an arc between index and next with a direction that is, what did I say, count modulus 2. Okay, so this is what I want to create. I want to say arcs push A. And then in draw, I can now set the background in draw. And I'm just going to say for let all the arcs, I'll just call it A of arcs, A dot show. So this should be, I did this kind of quickly, but basically what I did is I just took the drawing code that I was doing kind of like live as the algorithm was going, and I encapsulated the idea of drawing one of these arcs in an object, and then I built up a big array of them. So now I have this big array, and every time through draw, I want to draw everything in that array. And this is going to allow probably you, if, okay, direction is not defined. This has to be, as always, I always forget the this dot, this dot, this dot. That was not the sound clip, but I forgot the this dot, obviously. All right, so this should be exactly what we had before, but here's the thing. Now this is actually an animation. So let me try something. What I have this idea, which is I want to actually scale the visualization according to how far I am in the sequence. So for example, what I'm going to do now is I think it might help to draw the arc, everything centered around the left side of the screen. So I'm going to draw the arc at 0. In draw, I'm going to say translate 0 height divided by 2, and then I'm going to use scale. So the scale function, for example, if I were to say scale like 5, that's going to draw everything at 5 times the size, at 500%. So you can see it's already like thicker and bigger at the start. If I were to say scale 0.1, you can see everything is really, really tiny now. It's being drawn at 10%. So what I want the scale to be, right? I have a window that is 600 pixels wide. And so that each pixel is one number in the number sequence. I want the whole number line. If I've done 5 numbers, I want that to be the width. So I think I can actually just say scale width divided by count. That should do it. Whoops. Yeah, so now you can see it is like live adjusting itself to how many numbers I've done so far. And let me give myself, there's really no reason, let me give myself the full, is this how I do this in P5? The full window width and height. And let me actually also say style, body. Oh boy, I do not know CSS. Margin 0, is that going to do it? I just don't want to have any padding. Is it padding? Is it a margin? No. Padding? Is this how CSS works? No. Somebody tell me how CSS works. No on the CSS. Comma? Oh no, I need these? I don't know CSS. Help. Padding 0. Semicolons, yeah. Say pixels. Does this colon go here? No colon, no colon. There we go, no colon. So, and let me make I feel like let me say the stroke weight. Let's try, I shouldn't try to get into anything that has to do with visual design. But let me just make the stroke weight a little thinner because maybe it'll be interesting to see some space between them. And let me get rid of here, and let me say refresh. And now we can see, this to me is sort of interesting to see this sequence. Now, here's the thing. This is actually what I would like to see. What I would like to see is, instead of, right now I'm just stamping the entire arc, but I think it might be really beautiful to watch if I actually animate each arc. It would also be much slower. Like right now to slow it down, just as sort of like a bit of a kind of hacky solution, I could say something like frame rate 5. It'll look very stuttery, but we can see, each one is being applied one at a time. But what if I were actually to see that full arc kind of animate itself? I think that would be kind of nice. So if you watch the number file video, you'll see people have made like coloring pages out of this and done all sorts of visualizations. To me, like animating it, thinking about color, could this be polygons that have fills to it? Could you put this into like 3D space where the Z is changing over time? Maybe you want to draw something that's not just an ellipse or an arc, or maybe all the arcs are lower. I think there's probably a lot of possibilities there. Here's what I want to do. Hopefully you'll do something, hashtag coding Recamán. Share with me your GIFs and animations and screenshots on Twitter and in the comments here and through the website contribution system. But I'm going to do one more coding challenge. I'm going to do this again, but instead of doing something visual, I am going to play each one of these numbers in the sequence as a musical note. And this is not my own idea. This is also an idea that is talked about in the number file video and produces a kind of spooky quality to it. Okay? Thanks, and I'll see you in Coding Challenge Recamán Sequence Part 2 Music Edition. All right. It's very slow right now, by the way. All right. Questions. Show it full screen. Yeah, I probably should do that. All right, so let me do this. Let me record an intro. Let me actually do it much slower. Hello, you are about to watch a coding challenge to create this pattern. I think the slow frame rate was kind of pointless. And let me just say, I think if count is greater than window width, I'm going to say no loop. Let's try this just. Hello, welcome. You are about to watch a coding challenge to produce this pattern, which is a visualization of something called the Recamán sequence. So this is the end result. This is a little experiment. I'm showing what you get at the end of this video. And now, watch the video. Was that too short? It was like I'm rushing through it. Let me do another one just in case. Hello, you are about to watch. Oh, I feel like this needs the train whistle. Or the melon, or the headband. Don't tell me it's like 7 o'clock already and all I'm going to do today is just this one coding challenge, but that might actually be the case. No, I'm going to do more. I just don't know. What happened to the train whistle? Do you think someone came? Oh, no. It's hiding over here. Add colors. Yeah, I think I won't. I guess I could add colors. I had some complaints. I'm not going to add colors. Hello, welcome to a coding challenge, the Recamán sequence. I just completed this coding challenge. It will start in a moment. The project that I attempted to do is visualize a numeric sequence called the Recamán sequence. I'm going to explain it to you. This is based on a number file video that I will link to in this video's description, as well as lots of other information. And there will also be a part 2 of this. that you can watch after you watch this one, if you want. All right, so this is the end result. I think that you, after you watch this, could make many more beautiful versions of this with creative ideas that I couldn't possibly imagine. So I hope that you do, and share it with me on Twitter, #codingrecamán. See ya. After this intro, please scale it down to the biggest number of this series, not the counter. Oh, shoot. That is such a good point. So how do I let biggest equal 0 if, index, yeah. So here, if, shoot. This I really should be doing in the video. If index is greater than biggest equals index, and then the scale should be biggest divided by count. Let's try this. What did I get wrong there? Bit rate is dead. Make a tiny full video. Oh, is that going to kill the bit rate? What did I do wrong there? Oh, width divided by biggest. That was just, I don't know what I wrote there. Okay. Yes, this is what I meant. Shoot. So let's see. Yeah, okay, so first of all, is this going to survive bitrate wise? Well, this is much better. Processing would be way faster. I should do this in processing. I just wanted to do this because I was going to use P5. All right, hold on, everybody. So we're going to have to deal with this. Okay, guess what? Guess what? This video is not over yet. I realized in the chat I got the comment, which is I can't believe I didn't think of myself, which actually I can because I never think of these things. Where I really shouldn't be scaling to the where the count is. I should be scaling to what's the biggest number that's been part of the sequence so far. What is the end of one of these circles? I'm not actually seeing the full sequence right now. So if I go back into my code and I add something, which I just did, if I have a variable called biggest equals 0, then what I can do is each time through step, I can check. It's basically if index is greater than the biggest number, then I want biggest to be that new index. And then here I want to scale not by the count, but by the biggest number. So let me add that in, hit refresh, and you can see now, now this is what I meant to show you. This is now, I believe, the visualization that you will find in the number file video. So what can you do? I hope you will make your own creative twist on this. You can think about different ways of visualizing this besides just arcs. You could think about using color. You could think about putting this in 3D space. I mean, what would the z-axis mean in terms of visualizing this? I would love to see it animate. Right now, it is currently just, the stamp of each ellipse one at a time. What if you animate the full arc one at a time? What if you animate that arc? So make those exciting different versions of them. Share them with me on Twitter, #codingrecamán. And there's also, if you look at the codingtrain.com webpage that's in this video's description, there's a place with instructions of how you can submit your own version of this there as well. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this coding challenge. I am going to come back in a moment, and I'm going to do one more version of this, but instead of visualizing it, I'm going to play it as musical notes. And those musical notes will sound like something. I forgot what I was talking about. This is also something that's in the number file video, and I thought it'd be worth exploring the P5 sound library as well. All right. See you soon. Yeah, I should lerp. Yes, I should be lerping. Yes, I should be lerping. I should be lerping. I'll add that. I'm not going to put that in the... I'm going to make a variable called scale. I'm going to say scale equals lerp. Scale width divided by biggest, 0.1 or something like this. And then I'm going to say scale by scale. There we go. That's so much better. Okay, I'll leave it as an exercise, yeah. All right, but it's going to be for the full screen. Now here's the thing. I'm going to redo the intro. Does this, is this going to be okay bitrate wise? Yeah, I could calculate, yeah. All right, so I'm sort of looking at the chat, that's why I stopped talking. All right. All right, I'm going to record the intro to the intro. Hello, in this video, you're going to see me do a coding challenge where I make this visualization. This is a visualization of the Recamán number sequence. I'll talk about what that number sequence is, how it works, and then write the code to draw this using JavaScript and the P5 library. This is all thanks to and inspired by a number file video, which I will also reference and you can find links to in the video's description. So, oh no, apparently it's spooky. So, look at those scary circles. I'm running away. Enjoy the coding challenge. All right. So that was, is it still going? Oh, it's actually still going. That's crazy. I really want to do this in processing, actually, because I could generate a much larger, yeah. All right. I am recording. Yes, but then when I upload it to YouTube, it's just going to recompress it anyway. So, all right. All right, so I'm pretty happy with this coding challenge video. Now what I want to do, so first of all, let's go here. I think there's like a button here where you can listen to it, right? Where is that? Right? Am I crazy? I thought there was like a button where you can listen to the number sequence. Listen. Oh, listen, right here. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see if you hear this. Do you hear this? I don't hear it. I'm not hearing it. Hold on. Let me see if I can make sure I hear it. Sound. Oh, it's downloading something. Play as MIDI. Okay, sorry. So what's this going to open with? QuickTime Player. Will that actually work? Cannot open play.midi. I'm now Googling play a MIDI file. GarageBand. I'm not going to open up GarageBand just to play a MIDI file. All right, fine. I will write my own program to play it online. Upload MIDI file. Oh boy, this is bad. This is bad. I don't like the looks of that website. I'm going to have to write my own. Audacity will play a MIDI file. Let's see if Audacity will. What ancient software is this? Downloads. Bad Bird. Is a MIDI file, not an audio file. Oh, file import MIDI. File import MIDI. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. Play. 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 I see it. I see the notes. Selection, start, end. VLC. Yeah, there's some party going on in the hallway. I don't know what it is. There's like summer camps and different things going on here. VLC. Is VLC going to play it? No suitable decoder. Can I export this? File, export. Export MIDI to, oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to give up on this. I mean, I can write my own MIDI player. I could open up GarageBand. All right, I'll open up I don't even know if I have GarageBand installed on this computer, but let's just try that. I actually kind of, oh wait. I don't have, is GarageBand on this computer? Yeah, I do not have GarageBand on this computer. There's YouTube videos with Recamán sequence audio. Yeah, MIDI, upload MIDI file player. Let's try this. That's what, ooh. Ooh, I like this website. Is it playing? OnlineSequencer.net import. All right, upload MIDI file. All right, and the whole point of this is I was going to do this myself anyway. So forget about it. I don't need to. I mean, somewhere in this video. Oh yeah, it's the beginning. Okay, this is good.
Hola, Brady.
Hold on. I got to get it so you can hear this. I got to. Sorry, I'm confused here. Multi-output device. I think this is piping the audio out through.
Hola, Brady.
Hola! Okay. All right. Here we go. So I want to make sure I let's make a second one. Let's call this Viz. Let's call this music. And let's go to here. And okay. All right. Oh, I still have, I have this awful, it's over here. Oh, this is where, I'm such a doofus. I was like changing the wrong light. There we go. Better. I think that's good now. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do this, or I can't do the Fortnite dances. Oh, I think I definitely hurt myself there. All right. Okay. We're ready for this. P5JS. reference. We need an oscillator. We have P5 sound. Here we go. Oscillator, an envelope. This is what we need. Yep. And then we need, okay. All right. All right. Oh, this video is pretty good too. All right. Recamán's sequence. Whoops, sorry. Hold on. YouTube.com. Watch. This is a really ridiculous way that I am getting to this video, but it shall work. Like this. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's cycle these cameras. All right. People are telling me not to dance. You know what? I'm going to dance. Definitely heard something there. Okay, hello, I'm back for another coding challenge about the Recamán number sequence inspired by this number file video. Hola. To the wonderful, let me try that again. The only reason it sounds spooky is because of the arbitrary choices using the chromatic scale. Oh, that's a very important, that's a very interesting comment. Boy, and 48 replies, boy, they have like, okay. What's the... All right, hello, I'm back. In this video, I'm going to do another video about the Recamán number sequence. In the previous video, what I did was visualize it. And you can see here, this is me, this is not me, but this is the P5 code I wrote to visualize the Recamán number sequence as a continuous series of arcs. It looks like they're circles, but they're actually connected arcs. You can watch the previous video where I go and build this whole code. But one of the things that you can do also with number sequences, besides visualize them, is create an audio version of them. And in fact, if you go back to my new favorite website entirely in the entire world, the Online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences, you know, if I'm here on the Recamán sequence page, I can click right here to listen, and it will give me a MIDI file. MIDI being a system for encoding music as numbers. So if I can encode music as numbers and I have a number sequence, then I can make that number sequence MIDI and then I can play it as music. So this is what I want to try to do, and I'm going to attempt to do it with the P5.js sound library, making use probably, and this I don't really know that well, so I'm going to be doing a lot of looking up in the reference while I do this. I'm going to do it with an oscillator to generate a sound, and the envelope, an envelope to kind of craft that sound, essentially creating my own synthesizer. Should also mention that this video was pointed out to me from Dale Recamán, which is also visualizing the sequence in a completely different way with colors and also making it into audio. So I hope after watching both of these, we will see a world full of, I don't know, do we want this world? I mean, why not? Let's see a world full of visualizations and audio versions of numeric sequences. Okay, so let's start coding again. I'm going to close these windows. I'm going to go here, and let's think about this. So I'm going to keep the visualization going, and basically, so I could start from scratch. I'm going to just keep this code. I'm going to add to it. And what I want to do is I want to play a note. So let's see if how to best do this. So the first thing that I know that I need to do is I need to create an oscillator. An oscillator is an object that will generate a tone. And there are different kinds of oscillators, right? It's basically a pure sound wave. And I can have a sine wave or a triangle wave. And I believe I have a video about P5 oscillators that will go into that perhaps a bit more. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this code exactly as is, and I'm going to paste it into setup. Here, coding challenge, copy paste from examples, and then I'm going to make that a global variable, and I'm going to discover what interesting error I will have now. So P5 oscillator is not a constructor. Why did this come up? Why do I have this? Because I don't actually use the sound library that often, and I didn't include it here. I should use it more often, so I'm going to go and add a reference in my HTML file to the P5 sound library. So hopefully that's going to clear that error up. Great, it's going. Do I hear anything? So let's go to the sketch, and why do I not hear anything? Because I set the amplitude to 0. Let's set the amplitude to 1. Do you hear that? That is the oscillator, the sine oscillator, playing the note, playing a note, the frequency. So now let's think about this. Stop! Okay, I'm going to hit back. So what I want to do here is I want to basically take the number and assign it to a frequency. So this would be kind of crazy, but what I could actually do is, just to get started with this, is in the step function, I could set the frequency, whoops, not in setup, in step, I could set the frequency to the next number, the index. So that's this is not gonna be that logical, but I could actually just use the current value of the sequence as the frequency. In setup, I wanna just set the frame rate to like 1, so it's just changing it less often. Let's do this and see what happens. But instantly, like I heard something for a second, and then I don't hear anything anymore. So why do I not hear anything? Maybe I will eventually. Oh, is it really loud? Oh boy. Okay, I better go re-record that. Apologies. So I better go re-record that. So there's a couple things I could do. Let me see here. Let me do this. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me just tell me if this is better. Warning, headphone warning. I'm going to have to go back and redo some of this tutorial. So, we could probably fix the audio in post, but it's probably better for me just to redo it. Hold on. Is this okay? Right, yes, Austin, that's the point that I want to make. Is this okay? I want to know if this is a reasonable volume. And when I hit back, does that make like a piercing, horrible crackle or anything? Too quiet. Okay. What was too loud before? All right. All right, all right, all right. I'm splitting the difference here because people are telling me it was fine before, it was too quiet. It was fine before, too quiet. Weird. All right, I'm gonna look at the Slack channel, which just to, piano key frequencies, thank you. Okay, that's good, okay. All right, I'm gonna leave it at this. Okay, oops, I'm in the wrong place, all right. So hold on, let me go back, let me back up a little bit. I'm gonna just back up to where I set the amplitude to 1. Okay. Wait, how do I? Ugh. Hold on. So I don't know how this is going to edit together, but Mathieu will figure it out. I'm going to set the amplitude to 1 at 100% volume. And now we can hear that sine wave. Okay, very relaxing, very soothing. We could try different waves, like is square an option? Oh my God, sorry. Was that too loud? I'm waiting for the live stream to catch up to that horrifying moment. Sorry, everybody. We won't use the square wave. Harsh. Okay. I want to try triangle. Okay. Just warning you. Let me set the amplitude to 0.2. Okay. Here I'm about to try triangle. I think sine is going to be the nicest. Okay. Let me try this one more time, everybody. All right, let me try this again. Then I'm going to go home and have dinner. I was going to do this from 5 to 7. I only had 20 minutes left. I'm only getting, look at that nice list I made of all these things I want to do. I'm just doing this. But, all right. All right. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm going to change the amplitude to 1, and which is 100% volume. I'm going to hit refresh. So now you hear the sine wave. Now, so what do I want to do here? So I have this, and I'm going to click back here to stop the sound for a second. I have this number sequence that's going up. We can look at those numbers. They're 0, 1, 3, 6, 2, 7, 13, 20. So what if I just took each number and assigned it, and took the number in the sequence and made it a frequency? So for example, as I'm stepping through, I could say oscillator, frequency, index, right? Index is actually the number of that's currently part of the sequence. So if I do this and go back to here and click on this, oh, I don't hear anything. Do you hear something? You might have, if you have headphones, have it turned up. Eventually, I think I'm going to start hearing something. So here's the thing. There is a range of frequencies. Frequency as being a measurement of how many cycles of a wave per second. Oh, now we can start to hear it. I kind of like that. All right, but maybe what I want to do, so it's an audible range of frequencies. If I search for this, we can see like this is generally, you know, we can find out some more information about frequencies. But really what I want are piano key frequencies. Like I want to know what are the frequencies or MIDI note frequencies is another way I could think about it. And we can see here, oh, these are MIDI note numbers, and these are their frequencies. And there is actually a formula for doing this. I'm going to pause for a second. So K. Wiekman is saying f_0 frequency times 2 to the n divided by 12th power. Reference frequency meaning like middle C. 432. All right, what should I use, people? God. MIDI to freak index. That's what I was going to... I go to the Wikipedia. All right. Okay, so let's go back to this. People are not cheering for me, by the way, if you can hear that. Let's go back to this page. Whoa. So following equation gives the frequency f of the nth key as shown in the table. So, this is really, just time out for a second. This is way too distracting. How audible is this cheering? So nth key, this is the frequency, the square root of 2, the 12th root of 2 to the n minus 49th power times 440. Is that the, which can be written like this. Okay. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay. All right. It's very audible. All right. Let me go back a little bit to where I ended off just sort of clicking out of this. Woo! Okay, so for a while we didn't hear any notes, and then all of a sudden we started to hear stuff. So this is much too arbitrary to just put the, whoops. Wait, that was, oh no. I'm so distracted by the cheering. It's making me crazy. Try one more time. Just click back. Okay, so for a while we didn't hear any notes, and then all of a sudden we started to hear something. So here's the thing. It's much too arbitrary to just set the number from 0 to whatever as the frequency. There is a specific audible range of frequencies that we can hear. And so, and there also are formulas for converting from MIDI notes to frequency and back and forth. I'm sorry about this applause. It has nothing to do with me, clearly. There's something going on in the hallway. There's nothing I can do about it right now. It's just going to be in this video forever. But, and so I'm pretty sure that P5 has a like MIDI to frequency or to note or something function somewhere. But I'm not going to use that. I'm going to go to this Wikipedia page, which I have loaded up here, called Piano Key Frequencies. And if you look at this formula here, I want to use this. Basically, if we number all the keys on the piano, from the very bottom key to the top key, I can't remember how many keys are on a piano, 88 keys standard or 108 key extended, we can actually find the frequency of any key n through this formula. I'm sure we could think about this in interesting ways, but I'm just going to go and use this formula. So look at this. I'm going to say, so if the Recamán numbers, all these numbers, and I'm just going to do from 0 to 88, like I'm not going to let it go forever. If I consider each one of these to be a key on the piano, then we should be able to play the music. So, this is really insane. This is very distracting. All right. Okay, so I want to say the frequency is, and go back to this formula, 2 to the n minus 49. Okay, so power 2, n which is index, minus 49, divided by 12, times, and I believe it was 440. It's 440, I wonder if 440 is like middle C or the note A. Oh, I think it's the tune to A 440. So A is like, 440 is hertz is the note A. So, so now if I were to say this, and let's console log index and the frequency just to hear it. And I also want to just go to setup, and I'm going to, I already had set the frame rate down to 5 in anticipation of this, but I'm actually set it to 1 to make it even slower. All right, let's take a listen. All right. Do you guys hear those very low notes? Use index mod 88, that makes sense. I'm sorry, that was kind of loud. All right. So I can't seem to get those really low notes to play. Let's increase the frame rate. So first of all, I really need to add an envelope to this. The whole point of this is I want it to sound somewhat nice. So what is an envelope? So in addition to the oscillator, there is this thing called an envelope. And an envelope has 4 elements to it, and they're actually described right here. And I have a video all about this, which is attack, decay, sustain, release. So if you think about playing a note, like when you hit a note on the piano, there's the sort of attack, there's the note sort of fading out, there's the sustain, there's the release, all those 4 things. Yeah, there's various parameters. I'm just going to kind of use a default setting, and I'm going to go to this example, p5.envelope, and just sort of look. So let's grab. Thank you. Let's grab. It's funny because I have fake applause sound effect, and then there's people applauding outside. So I'm going to grab all of this stuff, these settings for that envelope. I am going to create an envelope. I have to re-record this video sometime. I'm going to create that envelope right here. And then I'm going to make the envelope, before I make the oscillator. So I basically want to use the envelope in a sense as a wrapper around the oscillator. The oscillator is going to give me the quality of the sound and the frequency, what kind of wave it is, and the envelope is going to allow me to make it feel like I'm almost playing a key on a synthesizer. And so now if we go and look here, we can see envelope.play. So now, the amplitude gets tied to the envelope. So instead of saying an amplitude of 1, I'm going to say amplitude envelope, and then I'm just going to say envelope.play. Let's try this. And I need start, I need frequency, and envelope.play. Okay. So then I want to also comment this out right now. And we should just hear one note. Do you hear that? Nice and soft. Bum, bum, bum. So what I'm going to do now is I should be able to then say, I should be able to set the frequency and play the envelope again. So here, I'm going to set the frequency, and I'm going to play the envelope again. This is not going well. And I am going to not set the frequency here or play the envelope here, and let's see what we get. So these. Okay, that is loud. I don't know if I just totally destroyed your ears. One thing that I can do here that would be kind of nice would be to make this actually index mod 88, so that if the index goes higher than the last key on the keyboard, it will then wrap back down to the bottom one. And I almost feel like what I want to do is use a smaller range, but let's try this. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. How's the volume? Okay, I think this video is over. As you can see, I am terrible. I'm terrible at doing stuff with music and sound. At least it's working. Hopefully you can come up with something better than this. Maybe make it sound beautiful. Perhaps we have achieved something spooky. I don't even know if I'm doing this correctly. But anyway, I said I was going to make this video, and I made this video. Where are we, by the way? It's kind of loud. All right, so thanks. I don't know what else to say. Okay. All right. Hold on. This video is not over yet. Getting a suggestion from the chat from Recamán saying you will get more musical results by restricting the range a bit. I'd say 2 octaves top. So what I should be doing here is basically 2 octaves, right, would be how many notes total? 24? C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. That's 12. Then I have C. So that's 12 notes total. So so I want, like, a range of 2 octaves would be 24 notes. Maybe I would allow the last note, so I would have 25 notes. So maybe I want to say something like the N is index plus, I don't know, I should start up somewhere, like plus 48. Modulus 25. Is that like crazy? Oh, N minus 49. That's interesting. Okay. So does this make any sense at all? Let's try a little bit higher, like 24, 48, 96. What number? Oh, because I'm modulus. No. I have to modulus the 25 plus 48. Okay, let's go down here. Is this better? This is one of the weirdest videos I've ever made. So anyway, now you see that I, have no, in addition to having no visual talent, I also have no musical talent. I don't know that much about music. I know a little bit. I played the violin, and I attempt to play a very out-of-tune ukulele. The minus 49 is no longer needed. That kind of makes sense, right? I could just take out the... That's an interesting way of thinking about it. Is the modulus, is the modulus 25, right, or should it be 24? Ooh, boy. All right. Let's pretend that didn't happen. We're going to edit back to where I went and got the ukulele. The ukulele, that was a weird edit or something there as I went off the deep end anyway. All right, so this is the end of my video. I've said that so many times. Share with me your musical compositions based off of this number sequence or other number sequences and ways that you discover. And I look forward to seeing you in future coding challenges. Okay? Goodbye. Whoa. I'm going to dance my way out of this. Someone's saying do it at 60 frames per second. It's like Flight of the Bumblebee. But I need the envelope to be quite different, I think. All right, I'm going to let people figure this out themselves. Okay. All right. So I guess this live stream was all about the Recamán sequence. It's 7 o'clock. Is there something in my list that I made that I could possibly do? Okay, I definitely don't want to talk about convolutions right now. The flocking coding challenge is too long. Could try it. It's 7 o'clock. I think I might just leave it at this for today. There was something else in there. Oh, ml5. Let's do this. Okay, we're going to do the ml5 thing. Let's do the ml5 thing, just to try. So let me just see if I have any messages here. Oh, I have a message. I don't know if Chris, if you're still watching, but I just saw your message from an hour and 40 minutes ago, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so and I have all these text messages. Let me make sure that everything is okay. Pizza delivery is on the way. Babysitters at home. Everything's fine. Let me talk about my plans for the summer. No. Let me just go and do this ml5 stuff. Okay. What I need to do is just bear with me for a second. What branch is this in? So what I'm doing right now is, so here's the thing, I kind of want to do this ml5 video today just to kind of do something with ml5, but there's a new release of it coming out next week that hasn't been published yet. There's some kind of key API changes. So I want to kind of use the updated version that's not officially published yet, and then by the time this video comes out, it'll match. So let me see if I can grab this. So I'm just grabbing the full ml5 examples repository. Go back to the Slack channel here. And why did that not? Oh, okay. I don't know why that happened. So I'm now grabbing this repo. Okay, here we go. Now I am going to go into that repo. I want to just make sure I have everything. Boy, okay, I do. And then I want to say git checkout. I want to look at pull request. This pull request 1.5. I want to deal with this branch. Okay, so I want to do this. Okay, and then I want to look at the files. And there should be. I thought in this branch there was like a temporary. So let me just look here. I might have to like build it. Or is it, did I just not notice it? I'm looking for the pre-built, where do I browse files here? Well, hold on, let me just look. Did I just miss it? That's weird. I guess it's not committed in the repo. So, but it was merged. Okay, let me think about this. Let's go one step further. And let's actually go and grab the actual library. Is there a, did we commit? Oh, we do have a, oh, that's interesting. But that's from 11 days ago. Wasn't this merged? But maybe it wasn't. Yeah, this is the, where is the, what I'm looking for is the, yeah, this one. Was this one merged? Looks like it was. a day ago. So, but this distribution is from 11 days ago. That's weird. Well, let's try to build the library. So I'm going to clone the full ml5 library. I'm looking if somebody maybe in the I'm going to clone the full library. Then I am going to look at these instructions for developing. Where are those? Contributing, I think they're in this. Okay, so now, so this is, by the way, what I'm doing right now is something that the whole idea of ML5 is to make doing some machine learning tasks in the browser friendly and simple. But I'm kind of doing some library development itself now, which is not what you would need to do to use ML5. I'm just doing this for my own, just to try to, for sort of compatibility issues. But so I'm going to go into that. I'm going to hit npm install. So here we're going to install all the node packages. And then, I don't want to do this, I want to build. Yep. Then I'm going to do npm run build, which should give me the most recent built version of the library. But I have to wait for this to finish. And once again, the chat is talking about what programming language. Really, okay, great. We should all run our own sanity check. Mine is failing left and right. Now I'm going to try this, run build. So let me just open this up for a second. 7:04 p.m. So I'm going to just delete these files. And I'm going to say npm run build. So everyone's asking about this song. Here's the thing. This song, it's Adam Blau, who is a friend of mine from college. He is a television and film music composer, amongst other things, I'm sure. And he does the music for the FX show You're the Worst, I think. Anyway, he composed the Coding Train theme song, which is the thing that you see in this thing over here. Once I was emailing with him and I was like, oh, I'm like thinking about getting sort of like stock music. And he was like, oh, I have this thing I made. You can use that. And he sent it to me. That's what it is. I don't think it's anywhere on the internet but here, but you can tweet at Adam Blau on Twitter and ask him more about it. Okay, so it looks like I have successfully built a new version of the ML5 library. So I can now go into and I can say p5g-b image. I'm going to say image classification, and then I'm going to go into that. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to go here. I'm going to paste ML5 in. I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to add here ml5.min.js. Okay, and now we are going to go here. And actually, do I have other terminal windows open? Yep. Terminate. And on a server. Okay. let me look now at, let me just review. So what I want to actually create is, I'm going to look at the code and then kind of like build it as a coding challenge. I'm going to go into ml5 examples, p5.js, image classification video. So let me just open this. Oh, I don't know why I just went here. I'm in the weirdest place ever, but that's fine. Create capture, MobileNet video model ready. And then predict got result, error results. Okay, great. Okay, great. And if I want to do it with a video, an image, okay. Okay. All right. All right, I think I am ready. Okay, all right. There's some guessing going on as to what version of Node I'm running. Hey! That's not so bad. That's not so bad. That's like, it could be much older than that. Current version of Node. I guess I'll just go to Node. Oh, look at this. Big deal. Look, I take this very seriously. I am a person who falls under the category of most users. I am not a person who falls under the category of blank. I am most users. So I am at 8.9. I'm only a couple versions behind what's recommended for most users. Okay. Node update. No. npm update. Computer. Alexa. No. Okay, Google. Update Node. None of these things are working for me. I don't know why. I don't know if I could do this. All right. MobileNet. ImageNet. Boy, slow internet. Okay. Just looking. Is there like a JSON file in here that just has all of the labels? Like, what's a label in, like if I search, I should really sign in here. This is making me crazy. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I forgot what I was doing. I got to get my two-factor authentication going. Okay, somewhere in this repo, I believe, is, can I search, how do I, like right in this repository. No, I thought there's like a JSON file that has all of the labels that are in MobileNet. I've seen this before. I'm looking at data sets. Oh, I forgot about that. I'm like setting off people's ALEXAs. Sorry about that. I'm looking for all the labels. Is it here? Maybe I should just look for MobileNet classes. No. It's funny because I've used this before. Where is it? I don't know what's going on out there. Does anybody know where I could find that? Basically, like what the 1,000 labels are. I feel like this is. Let me think here. Well, is it? Could I actually just find it on the ImageNet website? This looks different than what I remember ImageNet being. Visual images, bounding boxes, features. No. Right, these are all the labels, but there's more. MobileNet just has 1,000, so that's a subset of this. Google ImageNet labels, yeah, no. Because I know, all right, hold on. Here's a way of doing this. I don't know why. So this has to be in there somewhere. So I should be able to search this repo. So there's no file? All right. I've seen this. There's actually just a paper that, there was like a whole Twitter discussion about what's in there. It's literally the first link. API docs, Python. Oh, somebody's. What's the first link on which page? Somebody just posted it. API docs, Python. Okay. Model from JSON MobileNet. Python, Keras, models, model from JSON. Here we go. Google ImageNet labels. This doesn't seem to be what I'm looking for. ImageNet labels. Ah, here we go. It's literally the first link. Thank you. Right, Tabby Cat. All right, here we go. Where did this come from? All right, well, I will use this. Great. Thank you. Ugh. Okay. Okay. All right, folks. I'm running out of steam here, but let's see if I can get a little further. Give me a second. All right, now I need. Bear with me, everybody. I am going to where is ml5 examples on this computer? And what was the name of that branch? I just want to have that code for reference. One updates. Okay. All right, just about ready here, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Leave this open. This is another reference. Okay. There's something else that I wanted to reference. Oh, so now I just need a few images of okay. All right, just thinking about this for a second. Okay. All right, everybody. I am now actually going to do something. This will be my last bit for today. And thank you for tuning in. Oh my God. I really just bashed my elbow against this filing cabinet here, and I have a very, very sensitive elbow. Oh my God, that hurts so much. So this is the elbow that I broke last summer. You can see I have like a huge scar on it, and I have a lot of titanium in this arm. It's really pretty much fine, and I could do just about everything. It's a little bit weaker than this arm, but it's very sensitive if I peg it into something. Okay. All right. I don't know about this, but I'm going to do this anyway. Welcome to the last thing that I'm going to make. I'm going to give myself a little reference over here. Okay, I'm just going to check something. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. Okay, everyone. Hello! This strangely is a coding challenge. So let me try to explain this to you, what I'm thinking about. I'm going to, in this video, make a web page. I'm going to start over. I'm going to start over because I'm actually just going to, let's first make sure this works on this computer. Okay. Hello, greetings from lab coat, bolo tie, me person thing. So this is a coding challenge. I'm going to make exactly this. What you are seeing here is a web page that is taking a live video feed from my webcam and attempting to classify what it sees is with some text on that page. So let's see. Let me see. What's the chance that it knows this? No, it doesn't know what this is. Oh, let's try this. Water bottle, tripod, water bottle. Okay, let's try. Oh, I got one for you. Yeah, okay. All right, hold on. We are starting over now. I don't need to refresh this. I don't know why I just did that. Hello, it is me, your friendly neighborhood oxygen mask, tennis ball, lab coat person thing. All right, so this is a coding challenge. It's the first time on this YouTube channel called The Coding Train that I'm going to use a new JavaScript library that I've been working on with a lot of people here at ITP, New York University Tisch School of the Arts, called ml5. And I'm going to recreate this particular ml5 example, which is taking a live video image from the web camera and attempting to classify it. Now, what I want to do this for is I want to have a talk. I want to have a talk about machine learning. And I want to have the discussion about why it's not magic, where it works, where it fails, and sort of thinking about data and models. And I want to make a lot of videos about this. And eventually those videos are going to be part of a tutorial sequence about ML5 and the basics of machine learning. I'm not really ready to do that yet, so I'm just kind of dipping my toe in there by just doing a coding challenge to try to recreate this example. Now, here's the thing. Why is this, where's this stuff coming from? Why does it think I'm a lab coat? I mean, that's not such a bad guess for me, frankly. Well, let me just come over here and grab this particular ukulele that I happen to have, which is very out of tune. I'm not going to play it for you right now. And I'm going to put it here, and we're going to see that it recognizes that as an acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitar. So with a violin or fiddle, it's got a very high confidence. That's amazing. It recognized that as an acoustic guitar, and yet here I am, a lab coat. So what's going on? So this particular example is running using something called MobileNet. MobileNet. You can go to this link here and read this very in-depth academic paper called MobileNet's Efficient Convolutional Neural Networks for Mobile Vision Application. What I'm showing you is how to use a pre-trained machine learning model, meaning somebody already took the time to train a model saying, hey, look, model, machine learning model, here are all these images, And this is what's in those images. Learn from this so that you can then look at new images and try to guess what's in them based on what you've learned. Well, anytime you do this, you've got a problem. Because what images were used to train this model? Well, was there an image of somebody with a beard and glasses and a nice light blue shirt with a flamingo on it? And it could just say, person with light blue shirt and flamingo? No. In fact, this particular MobileNet model, these are all of the labels or things that it knows how to recognize. Prairie chicken, African gray, macaw, sulfur-crusted cockatoo, It's very good at all like these obscure, strange objects. And somewhat in here, acoustic guitar, but nowhere in here, ukulele, right? I can't find ukulele in this list. Well, I'm gonna get to the code. Just bear with me. This is so important. Machine learning is not magic. It only will recognize what it's been trained. And so while this particular model, pre-trained model called MobileNet, was trained on a database of images called ImageNet. You can go to the ImageNet website and read more about it. But this is the thing. This database of images was really designed for computer scientists and people studying machine learning to do some research. But it wasn't necessarily designed to be practically applied in the diverse world of many, many things that we have here. So anyway, I want to, this is the first thing that I want to talk about, but we can use it, we can experiment it, we can play with it, we can see where it works, where it fails, and then as I make more videos, we're going to look at how could I retrain it with my own data, how could I make my own, but I want to just start by making this thing so that we can play, get our hands in it, see how it works, just give it a try. I feel like I want to redo this whole thing because I went on for way too long. All right. We're going to try this one more time. And Mathieu is going to use whatever he wants to use. Sorry, everybody. Most of you should have gone to sleep by now, like an hour ago. I just want to see if I can do this again in a less convoluted explanation way. What, that was only 1 minute, 30 seconds? Are you serious? That felt to me like I was talking for 10 minutes. Well, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, Burger Bob is asking about workflow. I'm not getting to that today, but I wanted to update some of the stuff that I'm using. Like yeah, exactly, Visual Studio Code or Live Server. All right. Hello, it is me, your friendly neighborhood oboe, bolo tie, lab coat. What's going on here? Hello, I am going to do a coding challenge that has to do with machine learning. Now, I'm going to use in this coding challenge a library called ml5. I'm actually here on the ml5 website. Friendly Machine Learning for the Web. This is a new library. It's being developed at ITP, which is a graduate program here at Tisch School of the Arts, New York University. It's where I work. I've probably talked about that before. Links all about that in the video description. Now, there's so much here that I want to talk about and go through, and I plan many videos, almost like a tutorial playlist of videos about machine learning concepts and beginner steps working with this ml5 library. I'm not ready to do that yet, so I'm just going to do a coding challenge where I recreate this particular example. And what this example is doing is it is getting a live feed from this webcam, and it is trying to guess what is in that image. And you can see it's getting it terribly wrong. Now, I can get it to do something correct. I'm going to come over here and get this ukulele. And you can see this, it confidently registers this as an acoustic guitar. So why did it work with that, but when I jump and stand in front of it, it thinks I'm a bow tie again? Which isn't such a bad guess, I suppose. Lab coat. So what's going on? So this example, this is a machine learning image classification example, but it's not magic. It came from somewhere. And where it came from is something called MobileNet. So this particular example, I'm going to write the code for it, is going to load behind the scenes a pre-trained model called MobileNet. What is MobileNet? MobileNet is a pre-trained model that researchers created that used this other thing called ImageNet. ImageNet is a database of 15 million images that are all labeled. This is a bird. This is a donkey. This is a turkey. I don't know why those are the things that are popping into my head. This is a acoustic guitar. But it wasn't necessarily made for a use case that you might be thinking about or something that's going to be applied to a particular problem. It was really made for research into how image classification works. So there's a lot missing from there. We can actually go to this page here and see these are all of the labels that are actually in there. Handheld computer, harmonica, a horse cart, iPod. So we can see like, okay, iPod is in there. So if I go and grab this glowing rectangle device, we can see, look at it, it thinks it's still a lab coat. I guess I probably have to turn it on. Okay, anyway, cut that out. That didn't work. Usually it recognizes the phone pretty well. I think it's the meat cleaver. This is what I love. I love for this to fail because we have this thought that it's all just this like magic working stuff. But the point of me making this video and this tutorial is one, is to show you how ML5 works, to allow you to make something, to play with it, to get your hands in it, to ask the right questions about what's there, what's missing, what's good about this model, what's bad about this model. So let's build the code for this. And I'm going to come back later and make many more videos. And one of the things I'm going to show you is how to train on top of something that's pre-trained. So this is a pre-trained model, but I could actually, instead of having to train a machine learning system from scratch, I could actually take something that's been trained already and additionally train it with some new images, which is something I'll do in a later video. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm going to close this page out. If you're still watching this, and I'm going to go to this blank P5 sketch. So the only dependencies here are the P5 library, which I'm going to use for quick access to the webcam, and then the ml5 library. And I have that now downloaded as a file called ml5.min.js. If you look at the video description and go link to the code, you'll see that you'll have it there. Now, you can also reference ml5 as a URL. Just like I'm referencing the P5 libraries in here. But I'm going to come back to all this when I do a more proper tutorial series about ML5. All right, so now, let's first get the camera. So I'm going to say video, and I'm going to say video equals create capture. I think that's what I say. Video? And then I say like video.start. I don't remember how P5 works. So I think this is how I create a video element on the page. I'm going to go to running my code right now. Oh, look, and there's the camera. What did I get? Video.start is not a function. I don't need to say video.start probably. So I'm going to run this. We can say, oh, there's the video. Now, that's the video element on the page. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to hide it. And then I'm going to add a draw function. And I'm going to make this 320, the canvas 320 by 240, and I'm just going to draw the video to the canvas. This is not necessary, but if I want to use this as a component in some other algorithmic drawing thing, I can actually just hide the raw video element and draw it to a canvas. So I'm going to do that. And we should see now, there it is. Oh, look, am I there? So that's smaller. Probably the video's native side is 640 by 480. I can shrink it down, and I'm going to do that just to shrink it down, and then make this a little bigger, and then I'm nice and pixelated. Okay, hello, 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 it's me, green screen, all that sort of stuff. All right, so now I have the video. How do I now create the image classifier? Well, this is one of the things I love about ML5. I'm going to actually call it MobileNet. I am going to say MobileNet equals ml5.imageClassifier. So ML5 has a function. All of the functions inside of ML5 are namespace. So if you have only used P5, P5 is kind of non-traditional in that you could just call stuff globally. Like create canvas or image. These functions that I'm calling here are, I don't say p5.createCanvas. And this is a part of a design decision of P5 to be very beginner friendly. But it can be a problem with JavaScript libraries that you don't want if you're using two libraries and they both have the same function name. So all the functions are namespaced under ML5. So this creates an image classifier. And there are many ways that you can make an image classifier in in ML5. One of the ways is by passing in a string with a reference to a pre-trained model that you want to use. Now, you can't just like make up anything you found on the internet and like pass it in there, but ML5 knows about the MobileNet library. So what it's actually going to do, this wouldn't work if I were offline. Like if my computer were not connected to the internet, this would not work because it's reaching out and behind the scenes downloading the MobileNet model. It's actually a pretty small file. One of the reasons why it's called MobileNet, it's highly optimized not for accuracy, but for efficiency. For like, it'll work run on a mobile device. So I could say this, and then I need to, I think, give it a callback where I say model ready, because that actually takes some time. Like the model's not going to be ready instantly. So I'm going to write that callback, call it model ready, and I'm just going to say console.log model ready. And so now I am going to refresh, and I'm going to see the model is ready. Now, the other thing is I can use MobileNet with static images, of course. I can do image classification. But if I want to use it with a video feed, ML5 is designed to sort of just know how to do that innately. So as an optional second argument before I give it the callback, I can actually just give it the video element itself. So I'm saying, hey, make an image classifier, use the pre-trained model MobileNet. Always look at whatever's in the current, this video element, but also, just tell me when you're ready. So now, here we go. I should see the video model ready. I'm not sure why. I would have expected the video to appear and then model ready to come after. I'm not sure why the sequence is happening that way, but big deal. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. So now, as soon as the model is ready, what I want to do is ask for some information. So I can now say MobileNet dot predict. So predict is the function that's going to say, hey, prediction is the step that happens after something's been trained. Right? So I've done a lot of video tutorials about machine learning and training, the training process. None of that exists in this video. We're just saying, hey, somebody else did all this work to train this model. It's published. I can gain access to it through ML5, which is a layer on top of TensorFlow.js, all these different pieces. So I can just call predict now. Now, predict is going to take some time. So I also have to give that a callback. I can say got result. And so now I'm going to write the got result callback, got result, and I'm going to put result. The got result function requires an argument, and inside that argument is filled, that the results is filled with the results from the prediction. So I'm going to just say console.log results, and let's take a look at what we see now. So the model is ready. And undefined. That's not good. I know the mistake that I made. So here's the thing. I forgot about this. I'm so used to working with P5 and so used to the sort of like load JSON with a callback and got data and here's the data that I forgot that the way that P5 works is somewhat non-traditional for JavaScript libraries. And actually because P5 like optionally lets you check for errors. And most JavaScript libraries want you to say like, hey, no, you have to check for errors. So actually this got result callback should have two parameters. It's two things are filled, two arguments, an error and results. Because I can say like, so in other words, if something went wrong, the first argument would be the error. If there is an error, I could say console.log there is an error. And otherwise, I can just say console.log results. So let's take a look at this now. Model ready. Oh, look at this. We got something. Ooh, got three things. Let's take a look at what's in there. Oh, I'm so excited. Bow tie. It's me. Oh, a Windsor tie or a sweatshirt. I'm such a sweatshirt. That's just when I think about myself, I think about being a sweatshirt. Let's run this again. And let's see what we got. I am a puffer fish. Excellent. So we can see that this is working. Now, strange. This is a continuous video image. So once I got that result, what is it that I want to do? Well, I could recursively just call got result again. So there's different ways I could approach this, but what I can do is basically I'm saying, like, as soon as the model is ready, ask for a prediction. Then, when I get the prediction, log it to the console, and then ask for another prediction. And because I passed video up here, the image classifier model is going to know to always look at whatever's currently in that video. So let's run this again, and let's see. Hopefully the browser doesn't crash with me trying to do this a bunch of times. I still only saw it once. What did I do wrong here? MobileNet.predict got results. That should work. Sorry, I'm thinking here. What did I get wrong? When in doubt, refresh. Oh, now it's working. I must have not. Okay. Let me do this again. Sorry, edit the part where it didn't work for no reason. I probably didn't hit save. All right, so now we can see the console log is like doing the labels over and over again. We can look at tennis ball, bow tie, microphone. There we go. So now, what do I want to do? What's in here for that? So first of all, by the way, it gave me, what's in here? It gives me it's an array with 3 objects in it, each with a class name and a probability. And the highest probability is first. So one of the things you might notice here is that I can optionally, like if I ask for, I believe, if I say comma 10, this would actually give me the top 10 things that it thinks it is. So we run this again, and we can see now it's always giving me 10 labels. So I'm going to be very basic about this and say I just want one thing. And then instead of console logging the results, I'm going to say console log results 0 dot class name. So this would give me what it currently thinks it is. And we should be able to see that in the console. So we can see it thinks I'm a laboratory coat. And if I come over here and I put my ukulele up here, we can see we've got acoustic guitar. So this now is essentially that exact example remade. I probably want to not look at the results. Not look at the results in the console. So I might do something like say let label equals empty string, and then I'm going to say background 0. I'm going to say fill 0, and I'm going to say text size 64, and I'm going to say text label, I'll just put it at the bottom of the, height. How do you spell height? I'm going to put it at the bottom, put it at like the bottom of the window, and I am here, instead of console logging it, I'm just going to say label equals whatever it currently thinks it is, and I'm going to hit refresh. And now I'm going to have both the canvas and some text saying what it thinks it is. Does it know what Kleenex are? It thinks it's a remote control. That's fascinating. How about some tape? Some jewelry, maybe. That text is way too big. Anyway, you get the point. So now you've seen how this works. So there are a bunch of questions that were in the chat that I'll mention very briefly. I guess I can just leave this running here. I don't know why I keep hitting back. Number one is, hold on, time out for a second. Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm just looking at the chat for a second. No, okay. Oh, I left 110 in, oh yeah. Okay, sorry, the chat is just telling me that I left the 10 here. It's not really going to make a difference in terms of speed. Okay, so people are asking in the chat kind of about a little bit more about ML5. Again, my intention is to do an introduction to ML5 tutorial where I talk about sort of where that project came from and what the pieces of it are. I would recommend that you check out this article on ITP's adjacent journal, which kind of explains everything about ML5, the people who worked on it, and how it's built on top of TensorFlow.js. I will just briefly mention here that ML5 and P5 are separate projects, and the reason why ML5 was called ML5 was as an homage to P5. Say, well, P5 did something to make programming in the browser, drawing and animation friendly and accessible for beginners, and approachable for beginners, and ML5 is attempting to do the same sort of thing with machine learning. So I encourage you to poke around the ML5 website. Hopefully this remix my coding challenge to do something with it. Maybe you can make one of the example projects that, my brain is like totally melted. I shouldn't be doing these live streams for like 3 hours. You could remix the coding challenge I made to use this in a project. You could, just for fun, have it like try to create poetry or sentences out of stuff that the webcam is showing. You could actually try using this with static images. You can see an example of this on the ML5 website, where if I just take an image like cow. Wait a second, what just happened here? Okay. I don't know what just flashed on the screen there. Edit that out. I should never Google image search live while live streaming. Make some kooky project that shows labels for an image, but really think about and be critical minded about what's in there, what's missing in the data set of MobileNet. Where is this going to work? Where is this not going to work? Have some fun with it. And I will see you hopefully in many future videos about ML5. Goodbye. Oh, shoot. All right. I think I have to go. I don't know if that's going to... I don't know if that's going to make it as a video. Oh, when will you be making games again? I know, I agree. Maybe next time. I have too many things to do. I would like to I was kind of interested in doing Tetris because it's been suggested a lot and I think it would be fun. I really want to make, actually I have a question for the audience here. I want to make the Tesseract, 4D Tesseract. Let's see if I go, basically, there should be an animation of it here. This animation, I want to do a version of this in processing, and I'm trying to decide whether it makes sense to try to do actually the sort of like matrix math calculations, or to just compute in 3D, like the vertices of two cubes and then interpolate between them to move stuff around. I don't know if anybody has any advice. I would like to know that. I don't know why I made the font so big there. I am a lab coat. I am a Windsor tie. I am a person. Microphone. A lollipop. Iced lolly? Would you like an iced lolly? Popsicle. What's a popsicle? In British English, does the popsicle refer to anything? I don't know. I don't know. I came back to do a live stream. How was that? All right, I will do the matrix math. I made a matrix math library. That's a good point. All right, I will try to take a few questions before I go, and hopefully this live stream will turn into some edited videos that people like to watch. I'm looking at the chat. Anybody have any questions for me before I go? I'll put on my goodbye song. When will you finish Agar.io? I forgot what I even need to do next for that. I don't know if I'm planning on finishing it, but I could try Octree. I did one. Do you know how to program C++ for Arduino? All right, thanks, Marshall. You promised you workflow. Hey, so first of all, I take issue with the promise. I specifically said I doubt I'll get to all of this. I am now a drumstick. Can you make videos about Arduino? I do have a recommendation for you. If you're interested in videos about Arduino, let's see if this shows up. Yep. If you go to vimeo.com/channels/pcomp, there are tons of wonderful videos about physical computing. There's actually, it looks like there's Raspberry Pi ones. So I really recommend these videos. Check them out. Okay, so there's that. What else is going on here? Promise, yeah, this promise was unresolved. Can you make the face detection and blurring the face into a video sequence? That's interesting. I don't know if I fully understand that question. Let me just check. Am I getting any important messages? No, that's good. All right. I'm looking at the chat. Oh, I was gonna. Oh wait. Yeah. How long have you been learning coding? I would say since 2001 would be the answer I would give. So you do the math, but I did do coding a little bit in elementary school and middle school, and even a tiny bit right after I graduated from college. But I really didn't do coding until 2001. Oh, detecting face and blurring it automatically. Yeah, that's an interesting idea for a project. Ooh, the game Connect 4 with the min-max algorithm in Canvas. This sounds like an awesome idea. Let's see if it's been suggested already. Connect, what would I, let me look for min-max maybe. Tic-tac-toe with AI using min-max algorithm, or also Connect 4 was just suggested now. I like this idea. So often what I do is assign this issue to myself when I like the idea. Okay, excellent, I like that idea. What do you think about learning assembly in order to become a better programmer? That's an interesting question. Oh, Marshall is suggesting also more TensorFlow.js videos in Node. I would also like to do that. And someone's asking about D3. Okay, let me try to take those one at a time. TensorFlow.js videos in Node. Yes, I would definitely like to do that. The next thing on my list for TensorFlow.js is convolutional neural networks. We'll see when I can get to that. But adding the Node stuff, certainly I would love to have that. Okay, and then the other question was D3. I have done a little bit with D3. D3 is quite wonderful. It's not my expertise. It's not sort of what I natively know well. That's a great thing for me to have a guest come do some D3 tutorials about. There was one other question that I saw. Sorry, but I missed it. Do I work for a company? I work for New York University as my full-time job. I make these videos as part of the classes that I teach at NYU. The program's called ITP and also IMA, which is part of Tisch School of the Arts. And then the videos have kind of taken on their life as their own. So I kind of have a second part-time job here doing the coding train. Okay. Nestor asks, how's life outside of the coding train? How are you? A little bit overwhelmed. It's hard to be traveling for a while. I also moved to a new apartment. So I think things are going to slow down for a little bit over the summer, but hopefully when I'm at work every day in the fall, this where I record the videos is the same building where I teach classes. So hopefully things will ramp back up to speed in September. Oh, it was the assembly question that I missed. Thank you. That's an interesting one. You know, I'm generally on the spectrum of, do I need to learn every lower level detail about coding should I just kind of like experiment, play around, learn some stuff, try to make stuff? I generally lean towards this end of no, there's not really a reason to learn assembly, just to be creative and make stuff and learn about code and participate in this world of this computational world that we live in. That said, admittedly, I find things like assembly language kind of fun and interesting and exciting. There's that lower level stuff to be weird and crazy, and I do like having that depth of knowledge myself personally. So I think there's value if you find enjoyment in that. If you want to make, if you have some idea for an app and that's going to help people, do you need to go and spend 2 years in a cave becoming an assembly language expert? Not that you need to do that in a cave. I would say no. But there can be some value and some enjoyment in learning, and certainly for research into the science of computing and understanding at lower level how computers work, it has incredible value. But for being a person who's making stuff and doing data visualization or solving problems and trying to experiment with making art with computers, you can find your place on that continuum of where you're most comfortable. Is it tough to become a good programmer? Is it true you must be born into it? No, it is not true that you need to be born into it. Programming is hard. And you have to take a lot of time to mess up and be frustrated. And anybody it can be a part of programming and try it. And you don't have to there's no such thing as some innate magical programmer thing that you're born with. Maybe for some people, not for me. Not for, I think all of you watching, except for some person that I don't know who's probably not watching. But so I would say you should go for it. And it's hard, and don't let it get you down. It's hard for everybody. Where did the names Coding Train and Coding Rainbow come from? Coding Rainbow was an homage to an 80s television show called Reading Rainbow that I love. But there were some issues with making something that kind of has the same name as something else, which I should have been aware of. And Coding Train was just, somebody suggested it, and I'm forgetting. I really should keep track of this stuff better. I can go back into my email, and I sent this person a T-shirt. So it was suggested. I like it. I like trains. I like the vibe of it. People complain about the fact that I have this sort of like branding, like I'm a kid's show, and it's like it's not for kids. But I like that. That's me. So that's what it is. Good programming habits. I don't have any good programming habits. Next question. You should develop good programming habits. I'm sure other YouTube channels have good programming habits. Okay, everybody. I have run out of steam. I've been live streaming for 3 hours. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found something useful. I definitely think that the Recamán number sequence coding challenge makes for a fine edited video to come out some point next week. Pretty sure that the music one also is fine. And then I'm not so sure about, I feel like I don't know, but whatever. I think the ml5 one is a good trial run for making video tutorials with ml5, and I want to plan to make a lot of them. Okay. I'm sorry I can't answer every single question. I don't know when I'll be back next week. I really, everybody, every piece of information everywhere says to, if you're a content creator, establish a regular time slot. I'm just completely incapable of doing that. But I do like Fridays. So, but I am using YouTube events to at least schedule stuff. So if you want to, you could subscribe and click the alarm bell, and then you get a notification when I schedule an event and blah, blah, blah. Hey, if you want. There's no requirement to do that whatsoever. But that's probably the best way. You know, you can also sign up to be a sponsor or a patron, and I'm always posting in the Slack channel that's for members. I don't know what to call them anymore. Like, oh, I think I'm going to do it this Thursday. Oh, never mind. So that's where you can get the most information. But I will, when I'm pretty sure about it, I schedule it on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. But don't take my code for it. I like that suggestion. I think I'm not going to play the outro today. I think I'm just going to press the button, stop streaming. I really, and I'm going to go home and have a nice weekend. Yeah, that's that. Oh, hi, Jaden. First time watcher, Jaden. Thank you. I'm glad that you're still watching. Oh yes. So let me just. So first of all, I understand that not everybody has the means or capability to subscribe, sponsor, Patreon, whatever. That is, please do not feel any obligation to do so. I love that you're watching. The fact that you're watching, and you don't even have to watch, but the fact that you're watching is really nice. And if you're getting some value out of this, that makes me really happy. So I wish, and hopefully there are other ways that we can create a community, that you can participate in communities of people trying to do stuff with code and creativity and whatever, just through the magic of this thing called the internet. Now, if you are a member or a patron and you do not have a Slack invitation, which Marshall just posted, unfortunately, I have a very awkward system for doing this. So the best thing for you to do is go to the, I'm not going to open up the community tab, and somewhere in there I have a post for sponsors only with a link to a Google form. So you try to find that. If you can't find that, message me on Twitter. You try to get in touch with me. It shouldn't be too hard to do so, but and I will get you that Slack invitation. I just have to do some kind of cross-check to make sure you have to give me your YouTube username, and then I can see if that username actually matches a sponsor. And boy, now I don't try to game this system. I'm just relying on the honesty, good faith of the internet. You just go to the Google form is the way. I have to see that you have view of that. Anyway. So Marshall, hopefully you can find it. I would love a better system. Wow, amazing that people in Malta are watching. I don't know, I'm gonna go. I said I was gonna get home by 9, and I got a subway to catch. It's a new direction. I go downtown, not uptown now. I live in another borough. It's all very exciting. Moving is rough. Unpacking some boxes will be my weekend. There's it's a mess, and but I did get some air conditioning installed this week, which was huge. Okay, goodbye everybody. I gotta go over here and hit. Oh, first I'm gonna hit stop recording. That's me recording to disk. Sweden, Canada, Germany. Amazing. And then I'm going to hit stop streaming. I'm actually going to click the stop streaming button now. This entire live stream will be available for you to watch as soon as I do this. I am trying to set up for some live streaming from my apartment so that I could actually do, dare I say, more live streaming, but more frequent, shorter live streams. I would love, actually, honestly, I have this idea that if I just live stream every day for a half an hour or something, that might, there's some value to the longer ones, but I don't know. Okay. I'm stopping streaming. Goodbye. Have a nice